Hi, wrestling fans. This is Mr. Number One, George South. I've been all over the world, and you are now listening to Bell to Bell with Bobby Blaze.
Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.
We'll go to number 8. We'll go to the other professor, Mike TENAY.
Why not? Why the hell not?
I believe Mr. TENAY started one of the earliest pro wrestling newsletters when he was like 11 or 12 years old.
Wow.
In the, I believe it was the Los Angeles market.
As a fan, I grew up in Los Angeles, along with Houston, primarily the border cities, were the first to see that it was great for your local promotion to bring in stars from Mexico and draw that Hispanic audience. So as a kid, when I'm going to the shows at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles, here's the first time that the U.S. sees Mil Mascaras. Here's the first time that they see Gordman and Goliath as a tag team. All these innovators, Ray Mendoza, the father of the Villanos team, so many of the guys that they brought up who were such a big draw in L.A. So I had that basis and that background going in.
When WCW started crossing over with more luchador-style wrestling and this, that, and the other, not a lot of people working at WCW had the expertise of the moves and the maneuvers and the holds to call luchador matches. So that is how Mike TENAY became involved.
Yes, Ted Turner's organization, which was WCW, decided that they were going to provide a pay-per-view with wrestlers from Mexico. This was something in addition to what they normally would be having on their schedule. And the in-house announcers that worked for Turner and WCW, they decided that they did not want to be a part of this because they would be exposed doing a 3-hour event, a pay-per-view, with wrestlers that they had no idea who they were, what their moves were, what their backgrounds were. So they contacted me.
And it was a really good fit. While not the greatest voice,
this is BS! This sucks! I've lost my objectivity and I don't give a damn!
he was a professor of wrestling moves, man. He knew what he was talking about.
Everybody knows that's a Frankenstein. You called the Hurricane Run. Why? Why?
Well, not only that, Mike TENAY also knew professional wrestlers. And I have nothing but respect for Mike. Like you, I think you called him the professor there.
Yeah, it's one of those nicknames that I really never use. I never call myself the professor, but it goes back to the WCW Monday Nitro days, and it was a nickname that Tony Schiavone gave me.
And he called a couple of my matches when I come into WCW, and he stopped me one day, and we had a very nice chat. And unlike Tony giving me the best of luck speech there about what he said, Mike said, Bobby, he said, I just want you to know, he said, I'm fully aware of you and who you are, and that you were the former Smoky Mountain Heavyweight Champion. He said, but you know what? He said, I can't mention any of that stuff on the air about you. He said, they just won't let us mention other companies, especially Southern wrestling companies, and we just had a really nice talk. And I think it's probably one of, other than a hello, here and there and a handshake, is one of the first times, you're busy backstage with production. You get there so early and a lot of stuff's going on. But he kind of filled me in a little bit about my career. Of course, obviously I knew about, but I was surprised he knew about. So if he knew that about me, I'm pretty sure and I obviously knew he knew about the luchadors and those type things, and the moves, obviously. But I'm pretty sure he must knew about a lot of other guys too that come in from regional territories that he just couldn't, wasn't allowed to get across on television. And but he did take the time and was courteous and professional enough to sit down and talk to me and fill me in on some things, he knew about me, but he has to cut this way and that way on the television. So I'm sure he's done it for several other guys. I know he went on to work for Impact and do some, a lot of different pay-per-views and whatever. But like you said, maybe not the greatest of voices, but knowledge. I think the man was very, very deep in wrestling moves. Like you said, the luchador moves and names. But not only that, he also knew a lot of independent guys, and he knew their names and where they had come from and things they had accomplished in other territories. And for that, I have a lot of respect for Mike TENAY, because again, he took the time to shake my hand in a very busy time. I was there, like you said, I was there during the Monday Night War times, and this would have been around early 97-ish, late 97-ish, early 98-ish. But what a great, and he was also a very nice gentleman. I'll say that he was a very nice gentleman. So, anything else about Mike before we move on to number 7?
Well, it just that, you were talking about his knowledge of the wrestlers in the business. I did come across a piece that back in the days before videotape, he would audio tape wrestling matches and trade those with other people. So he was definitely a guy who was searching for more information, more matches, more wrestlers early on. Apparently he quietly retired about a year or two ago from wrestling.
Okay, I was wondering about that. Yep. I hadn't heard anything. Of course, I don't watch a lot of updated stuff anyway. But I hadn't heard his name thrown around, so that does make sense to me.
Yeah, and he like a lot of people in pro wrestling, he has a podcast, but it's not about pro wrestling. He's got a podcast called Professor Vegas, which talks about sports betting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, hell, he's pretty. That's something I need to listen to, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know.
Read the book that has the literary and wrestling worlds on fire. Pin Me, Pay Me, Have Boots Will Travel by accomplished professional wrestler Bobby Blaze Smedley. The incredible story of one man's battle to overcome all odds and realize a lifelong dream. Travel with Bobby in the ring, on the road, and around the world, including inside stories from WWE, WCW, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and more. Forward to the book written by Jim Cornette. Buy your copy of Pin Me, Pay Me, Have Boots Will Travel on Amazon.com today.